दफा अपने घर आऊंगा। अल्लाह 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 अल्लाह।
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन। वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला रसूलिल्लाहि व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमईन। अम्मा बाद। फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। या अय्युहन्नासु उअ्बुदू रब्बकुमुल्लज़ी ख़लक़कुम वल्लज़ीना मिन क़ब्लिकुम लअल्लकुम तत्तक़ून। अल्लज़ी जअल लकुमुल अर्ज़ फ़िराशं वस्समाअ बिनाअन वअन्ज़ल मिनस समाइ माअन फ़अख़रज बिही मिनस समराति रिज़्क़न लकुम फ़ला तजअलू लिल्लाहि अंदादन वअन्तुम तअलमून। वइन कुन्तुम फ़ी रैबिम मिम्मा नज़्ज़लना अला अब्दिही फ़अतू बिसूरतिम मिन मिस्लिही वदअू शुहदाअकुम मिन दूनिल्लाहि इन कुन्तुम सादिक़ीन। फ़इन लम तफ़अलू वलन तफ़अलू फ़त्तक़ुन्नार अल्लती उइद्दत लिलकाफ़िरीन। सदक़ल्लाहुल अज़ीम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि व सल्लिम व बारिक अला सय्यिदिना मुहम्मद व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमईन। अस्सलामु अलैकुम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकातुहू। Alhamdulillah, by the fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah Jalla Majduhu has given us a great opportunity, which was a chance not in millions, billions, but against trillions and zillions odds that He created myself and yourself. And after creating, He set a clear purpose for us. And the purpose leads us to eternal bliss, blessings in all phases of life, even in this life. It's as though we are a machine, and any machine which is kept according to the manual, it runs well, it lasts long, and it operates with full functions with ease, be it an engine or any other machine, if it is serviced and run according to the instructions. So, if you look at yourself, you are one of the complex machines. There is no other creation which we see around us physically that is complex in nature. But then, you do not know how to run this machine. Whilst Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Jalla wa ala mentioned that He created everything and He guided everything directly except human beings and jinnah. Animals, birds, as soon as they are born, they know what to do, to walk, to do things. But human beings, when they are born, for number of months, years, they can't even walk. They don't know. And Allah Jalla Majduhu mentioned this reality in the Quran. وَاللَّهُ أَخْرَجَكُم مِّن بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ شَيْئًا. Allah brought you out of the womb of your mothers whilst you did not know anything. وَجَعَلَ لَكُمُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ وَالْأَفْئِدَةَ. And then yes, He created the senses to learn and know, which is your hearing, your sight, your intellect, that was there. So human beings, basically, there's no manual for birds, for animals, for anything, because they have been guided directly by instincts, by nature, by Allah Jalla Majduhu. The bee know what to do, the ant know what to do, the goats know what to do, how to survive, the fish know how to survive, etc., etc. They don't need a manual or how to live and things, how to fly and where to find food and etc., etc. Whilst human being, they don't know. Initially, they have to be fed by actually the parents or the mother, etc. And after that, they don't have a manual as such, actually, which is built in them. Yes, they have sense of right and wrong. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the verse of the Quran which I recited, He mentioned that He sent the food and also the spiritual food, the physical food and the spiritual food for human beings. For the guidance came from the heavens, guidance came through the prophets and Anbiya Ikram alayhimus salam. So it's basically, if the machine does work according to the manual, it works well. Otherwise, there are difficulty, it stops working, it breaks down. That's what's happening to many of us. We have broke down, or we've stopped working, meaning we say so we are living a life of the dead, although alive, but there's no blessing, there's no contentment, pleasure, or anything actually which is making. So for that, obviously, Islam has guided us, the Quran guides us. But one thing I would just like to pinpoint today is another blessing and a weapon for being successful in this life. Because mainly you get two types of things you face in this life, actually. Either the things which you like, you can call it, which you call it blessing, which you feel actually good about them, you find pleasure, you find enjoyment, you are fulfilling your desire in lawful manner. All the things which you feel happy and you feel enjoyment, you feel it's a blessing for you. And then there are those things which you do not like, although they might be good for you, but you do not like. You consider them as a problem, you consider them as an affliction, you consider them as a musibah, as a difficulty, as an illness. It can be a pain, it can be a rejection, it can be restlessness, anything which bothers you, which actually you do not feel happy about. We can call it that as a musibah or affliction, you may say, problem, difficulties. And the others are which we feel easy, enjoyable, and we feel that good about it. Now the result is that those people who get both of these things, the result can be good or bad for them, depending upon their reaction. Like we convert, look, there is, let's say, nuclear energy. Now nuclear energy is converted into electricity, we are benefiting. If it is converted into weaponry and bombs, and they are actually used, so people are harmed by it. So the energy is there, it is how it is converted, what it is converted to. There are such plants which even convert or recycle actually rubbish and waste into useful material, useful things. So that conversion as though benefits actually the human being and the person itself. So the conversion. Look at the trees, for example. They convert oxygen. They give us oxygen and they convert the carbon dioxide, which is, we actually exhale it, but they convert it into oxygen, it benefits. So sometimes converting things is within our choice. If we do convert, it can be beneficial for us, although it might not seem beneficial. The raw material is not beneficial. But when the raw material is converted into ingredients or any useful material, we can actually benefit. There are gases, there are, for example, oil is oil. If it's in the raw form, it might not be, your car can't run on it, etc. But once it is converted to diesel or petrol and refined, it can benefit. So there is a, you may say, a law of conversion, that many things which are harmful, but if they can be converted into beneficial things. This is actually how things are working in this world. Things are changing. Many a times, filtered water is contaminated, it's very harmful, but it's converted into clean water, so it can actually benefit. So if you have understood these examples, then understand this, that we also as human beings are faced with mainly two things. One is the things which we like and which we think it benefit us, although it might not in reality. But then there are those things which we think actually, which we do not like. It is a problem for us, it is a difficulty for us, it's a affliction for us, it's a musibah for us, it's a tension for us, it's a depression for us, it's a hardship for us. And then there are ease, joy, actually other blessing, you're getting what you want. So these are the two things which actually we face outwardly, physically in this world. This is a reality. If you think any of you have come here, when you have come from today, from since morning, either you are in state of happiness, or you got what you want, everything is fine, or you might be suffering an illness, you might be suffering financial breakdown or emotional breakdown or family breakdown or whatever. Actually, one cannot get out of these two things. Either you are in one state or the other state. Now, as I mentioned, the manual job is to solve the problem so that the machine works very well. You are a machine, your brain is a machine, your heart is a machine, your whole body is like a machine. So what does the manual say about this? The reality I have mentioned to you, that no one can escape these two realities. Either they're in a state of blessings, state of actually calamity. That is the true. And every day we face, but because of the wrong reaction, then our machines break down. We are suffering for no apparent reason except our ignorance. The manual, which is the Quran, and the practical demonstration, which is the Prophet Islam and the Sunnah. So there is a theory, there is a practical. Because if it was theory, we would say, oh, I don't know how to apply this, I don't know. Well, it has been given in applied form. Applied form is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the manual says, the manual for human being, Hudal linnas. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said about Quran, what is it? Hudal linnas, guidance, a manual of instruction for human beings. And also jinnat, because they are also responsible. The manual says that when you are faced with these two possibilities, blessings, peace, and other things, let's say what you want, you get, etc. That is your state at the moment, but it won't stay like that. It can change tomorrow. Now you have what you want, tomorrow it can change. Now you have something problem, tomorrow it can go worst. So it doesn't stay, it's always changing. But what does the manual, what does it guide, what type of guidance it gives to us? The guidance it gives to us, actually, it says in very simple terms that if you have a problem, if you have a breakdown, if you have actually financial issue, if you have a health issue, if you have issues with life, is not going as you want, actually, the Quran and the Sunnah say, okay, yes, this is a problem. Allah says, I know it is a problem, but you can convert it into a blessing. What is that blessing? He said, you can convert it into sabr, and that benefits you tomorrow and the day after tomorrow and the day after tomorrow until your death, and even after death, even on the day of judgment. So basically, like I'm saying, nuclear energy converted electricity, things are running. Nuclear energy is harmful if it touches, so things become radioactive, it's very harmful. But if it is converted, it's benefiting people. So similarly, all problems are like nuclear radioactive, you may say, material. But if you convert it to sabr, if you can convert it to sabr immediately into sabr, then that's start serving you, benefiting you. And what is sabr? Sabr means actually relying upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the state which I am in, there is a message for me in this affliction, and I should restrain doing anything against the command of Allah, rather turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa ilayhi raji'un, and then wait for relief. That is called sabr. So sabr doesn't mean just be quiet, don't cry, or just actually restrain. It means that you rely upon Allah, that this is the state sent for me, it's better for me. I should rely upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and wait for the relief. And whilst doing that, I should become more obedient, more turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not doing anything haphazardly or due to pressure, unlawfully. You stay in that state, definitely relief, and that problem or whatever finally becomes a blessing for you. That is one state. Similarly, the other is you are in bliss. You got what you want, you got a new job, you got a new phone, you have new house, etc., or whatever, clothes, or you're looking forward to something. Now, yes, you're feeling good about it today, but tomorrow it might change. The day after it might change, it might go away. Then, so for that, the manual says that if you experience anything which you think is good for you, which is you think is enjoyable for you, immediately, if you want to save and seize it so that it does not leave you, convert it into shukr, into gratitude, into thankfulness. Then tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, until day of judgment, you are going to benefit from it. And even on the day of judgment, you will benefit. And what is thankfulness? Thankfulness is basically saying, this is not due to I am genius, or I have very good ideas, or my ability. It is to the fadl of Allah, mercy of Allah. Allah has given me this blessing, and I should be sharing this blessing with the creation of Allah. If I have money, I share with people. If I have happiness, I share with people. If I have a skill, if I have some ability, I am a solicitor, I should share it with the people, the benefit. If I am a doctor, I should share my skill, the benefit with the people. If I'm a plumber, I should help people who don't have enough. For example, there are so many, so it's a blessing. So anything attributing to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not using that blessing in disobedience and sharing it with the people around you, that's called thankfulness. And sabr is relying upon Allah that this is better for me at the moment, and I should read the message in it. Is it reminding me of akhirah? Is it reminding me to turn back? So I should turn back to Allah, and under pressure not do anything unlawful because I am in difficulty, I am in pain, but rather wait, relying upon Allah Jalla Majduhu, and then actually it becomes a blessing for you. So that affliction, whatever it is, becomes a blessing, and that ni'mah and that actually good thing which you have, it will remain a blessing. It's a blessing now, good and well, but it can change after 1 month. But once you do shukr, it's as though you have chained it actually not to leave you. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable to realize we are a machine. You follow, you take your car for servicing. Yeah, I should have a service after 3,000 miles, 5,000 miles. You take your boiler, your central heating gets service. What about the machine you yourself are? When will that get serviced? What is the instruction for that? And that instruction also sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala manual actually, and the service of this machine is called tazkiyah, purification, refreshing, reconditioning, and then actually it works well, it benefits you, your mind, your heart and soul, and plus in the grave. So think about, you're thinking about order my phone, I need to change my phone, the battery dies down, I need it refreshing, I need to, my car being serviced, I need this, I need my boiler being serviced, I need this, I need my house doing this, etc., etc. This also needs, and it is a very dire need because this is going to affect you forever and ever and ever. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable myself firstly and yourself to also realize this. Subhanaka Allahumma bihamdik nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Sunnati and afirmali masha.
ए खालिक मेरे लौट कर आऊंगा, मैं तेरी तरफ अपने घर आऊंगा. अल्लाह 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 मौला ए खालिक मेरे लौट कर आऊंगा, मैं तेरी तरफ अपने घर आऊंगा. अल्लाह 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 मौला ए खालिक मेरे लौट कर आऊंगा, मैं तेरी तरफ अपने घर आऊंगा. अल्लाह 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 मौला ए खालिक मेरे लौट कर आऊंगा, मैं तेरी तरफ अपने घर आऊंगा. अल्लाह